Welcome back to the Jaguar XE rescue mission. It is pouring with rain again. It seems to have poured every day for about 6 weeks now. But anyway, we have successfully removed the engine, so that's positive. I'll just try and get out into the rain and show you some of what I've been at. We'll get under the bonnet. As you can see, the gearbox is still lying in there. So essentially what I had to do was put a bottle jack underneath the gearbox and tip it up the way. It's now lying down on the subframe, but tip it up to allow the engine to come out at an angle. Originally when I had done this, I kept the cooler, this cooler here, on the engine, on this bracket. But what was happening is I actually had the engine out, and this cooler was just catching on the radiator here, but I actually managed to get the engine out. But whenever I had it out, the crane was at full travel, and the bottom of the engine was like, an inch lying too low, so I couldn't actually get it out of the car. So what I had to do, basically what had happened was I had this slung, not tight enough, it was too long, so I had to drop the engine back in again, and then sling this a little bit tighter. So what I've done, just basically got a ratchet strap. There's 2 points here at the back of the engine for a bracket. So there's one here, and another one was sitting there. I've took that from there, pitted over onto the front side. I then took a bolt with 2 washers either side of the strap, and a nut, and the same on the other side. See your bolt, big washer here, and then the bracket sitting there. And essentially that seems to have done the job as lifting points. The actual mounts, I had to loosen them off completely. I actually have them in just loose again for whenever I drop the engine back down to re-sling it. There's actually vacuum pipes onto these mounts, so they must work off a vacuum in some way, shape or form. I have the scuttle panel back on just loosely, just to stop the rain getting in at the ECU and stuff. So everything's it's a bit bare looking in here, but yeah, it came out pretty good. I'm reasonably happy with the progress made. But now it's a matter of starting to strip stuff off. I've noticed already, you know, whatever they've done with this engine, that's not factory. That's actually leaking coolant there, so someone's put a bolt in. There's something missing there, whether it's a bleeding nipple or what, I don't know. So I'll have to try and source that. I've also found like tape around this pipe, and there's another pipe somewhere with tape around it, around here. I'm just hoping they're not split. I don't know why they're taped up, so I'll need to figure that out. And yeah, next step is to try and strip a lot of stuff off and basically get the engine to a point where I can put it on the engine stand over there. So the DPF will have to come off. That's where there's 4 holes for your torque converter. So basically what was happening was whenever I had the starter out, the engine was still in the car, I was going through this hole. I was turning the crank pulley here, which was bringing this, it's not really a flywheel, it's a drive plate, but essentially a flywheel around. And I was loosening these bolts and separating the torque converter, which is in here, from the engine, from the drive plate. And that torque converter is just sitting in the gearbox, so it's all sealed in there. And you have your hydraulic pipes there for your gear oil and your gear oil